We are going to see Yoga Vasistha Nirvana Prakarana, second half. In that, the 56th chapter, before it we have already seen the details about the world creation and the substratum of all these creations, which is the absolute truth. There is no difference between the world and the truth. The absolute is so transparent, so pure, that is not possible to have vision by our ordinary senses, limited senses, which are unable to hold or to see, to have contact with that absolute, which is covered up by, as it were, by the world, just as a letter is covered up by envelope. So also this world is a covering factor of the truth. And world means the names and forms, which are always changeable, but the inside truth, which is existence absolute, omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient, that truth is covered up, as it were, means by these changing phenomena, we are unable to have vision of the truth. We don't see what is truth. Seeing means to have contact with our senses. That is, the truth is beyond all these names and forms and triads and all these time, space and conditions. The truth is unconditional. And because we don't see the truth, so we conquer it, we superimpose something, we think something which is not there on the truth, just as the rope is not seen in the dark night, and we imagine instead of the rope there is something which may be the snake. And when we get the light, we see the reality, clarity, which is rope, not the snake. Similarly, all these names and forms are imaginary superimpositions only, some ideas only, which are subject to change every moment, and which acts as the disturbance or the covering factor or the dart which covers up the truth, and that is world means name and forms. So when the senses are controlled, mind is controlled. That means when the mind is one-pointed, never extrovert, always steady on the heart, which is the awareness center. When mind is centered on that, then we can experience the truth inwardly, and all these extrovertness means the contact of the senses with the sense objects creates confusion, illusion, and all the misunderstanding, because of which we don't see the reality. This fact we have been discussing since 4 chapters before, and finally we came to conclusion that this phenomena, which is changing every moment, is not at all there. All these are only imaginations, and the truth is ever existing, and the truth is seen in this form, because its reality is not seen, so it is seen in this form. That means if at all you imagine the snake because you don't see the reality, then we have to say the rope is nothing but the snake. Snake is nothing but the rope. Snake is imagination, but the reality is the rope. This fact we have been discussing since long, and whatever ideas we have about the time, space, and conditions, situations according to this creation with names and forms, all these are not reality. So whatever we think, whatever ideas we have about time, space, and conditions, everything is totally wrong. Our concept of time is not as we think. Our concept of space as we think is not so. And conditions are because of our mind and senses. Because our senses and mind is conditioned by time and many other limitations. So our concept about the truth is not clear. So Vasistha ji intends to clarify this point, how this world is nothing but the truth, and truth is nothing other than this world, this creation, because the truth is absolutely transparent and luminous, self-effulgent, which is not by no condition the mind can see it or the senses can hold it. So all these imaginations we superimpose on the truth. To clarify this point, how the time is something other than what we know, how the space is something other than what we know. To clarify this point, Vasistha ji starts a story which is known as story of the rock, Pashan Upakhyan. And Vasistha ji tries to clarify to Ramji that time is within time, space also is space inside the space. And as we think, as we seeing this, it is not so. So he starts to tell a story on the rock somewhere in the sky.
Swamiji, one basic question, like we are talking about mind, but we have also separate word for buddhi, ahankar and vivek. So are they same? Like just clarify please this basic doubt. Like are they qualities of mind or are they separate faculties? We have separate words because we use them, but somehow there must be some difference. Vivek, buddhi versus mind, which is superior.
You have to understand the basic principles. Mind means not as we think. We think mind is a continuous flow of thought waves. Generally, everybody knows it, but it is not so. Basically, mind, prana, and all these phenomena, whatever we see, the whole world is nothing but play of energy. Energy means unsteadiness, every phenomena which is not steady because it changes. So it, as it is seen, we name it differently. Same, not only mind is known as intellect is known as ego or chitta, everything is one, different phases of one process. One process is unsteadiness. That is the basic process. Process is unsteadiness, very process. So in different phases, as we see its reactions, actions, accordingly we have named it somewhere. The same energy is known as prana, somewhere it is known as mind. Otherwise we know the same thing as intellect or discrimination or ego or chitta, the subconscious mind. All these are basically one process. This should not be forgotten. One process only, and because we see different phases in this process, accordingly we have named it. The same mind is nothing but time, space. The same mind is prana. In different state it is named differently. Just as the same body is named as legs, hands, nose, ears, same body. Body is the holder of all these. Nose means body also. It is a part of the body and it looks like something limited body. So in that way, if you see, mind is a little grosser than the intellect. Intellect is a decisive factor of the thought waves, and ego is also the same process, identifying with everything as a I. That is called ego. Same mind is called ego. Same mind is known as intellect. There is no difference basically. Grossly there is a difference. As per its work, its action and reactions, we name it differently and there is a difference, no doubt. But basically one should understand the whole creation with the body and I and mind, with all the senses and prana, etc., everything comes under one process, which is unsteady process, on the absolute steadiness, which is called truth. Because we don't see the truth, because we cannot have contact with this basic principle which is absolutely constant. That's how we, whatever we see, we have named it differently, 1,001 names are there. Without the mind, there is no name, no form, no I, no mind, nothing is there. So mind takes all these forms. Mind is nothing but every system, and the whole creation is nothing but the every system, which is known as the creation or triads, the seer, seen and seeing, or the cause and effect process, or we can say the action and reaction. We name it, all these words have different meanings at some time, but basically everything has one meaning only, that is changing process. That's all. Mind has got innumerable names, not only intellect or ego or subconscious mind. Any name you can give to mind. Because without mind we don't know what is name and what is form, or there is no senses which can have contact with any objects. So mind is everywhere there. And mind is nothing but the contact process. And contact process, sometimes it is gross, sometimes subtle, sometimes reactive, sometimes active. So in that way mind gets different names.
Without mind, we don't have search, Swamiji.
Pardon?
Without mind, we don't have search.
Without mind there is no world. World is the result of the mind, the process of the mind. And this mind, what we think, it is our limited mind, which is basically a part of the universal mind, which is all pervading and which is the cause for this creation. That is otherwise known as Ichha Sakti, Kriya Sakti, Jnana Sakti. In the very beginning of the creation, as we see in the scriptures, how the creation starts. The creation starts from one thought, that is, I am, and that is, I am one. Let me be many. Let me see myself. And seeing becomes many. Seeing is not total, seeing is partial. So the mind takes different forms. The universal mind only is named as Tejas or Hiranyagarbha or Virat. All these names are given to the universal mind. And that mind is nothing but the fast wave in the absolute steadiness, which is the cause for the creation. And that is really not there, just as the waves are not there in the water. Water is always present in all conditions, in the waves or bubbles or whirlpools. Everything is water only. Similarly, the whole creation is mind only. Mind takes different forms. And it goes on dividing and multiplying. Dividing means multiplying. The same one gets divided and becomes many. Just as I, I means the whole immortal. I am the body. Then I is the whole total body. And that I is seen by different parts only. Whole total body is not seen by the mind at a time. To see, we have to see by limiting. This is how the individual mind and universal mind is the cause for the creation, and that is willpower. That same willpower is known as creative power and knowledge power. Without having awareness of I cannot see myself. First of all, I have to become I. Who am I? Then my awareness is limited in some form. That first form is called Tejas or Hiranyagarbha, and which is continuously divided into many, and it takes many forms. That is called the creative process. That's all. From different angles, by different language, we express it differently. How is the creation? First of all, the body is created of the universal body and the universal mind, and the universal body thinks I am with the fivefold measuring, we call it tanmatras, measuring rods, and then it sees itself by the form of Akash, the ether, I am the sky. Then it thinks I am the movement in the sky, which is called wind. I am the seeing process, that is light, that is Agni. In this way it goes on thinking, and the creation starts. But we have to understand the basic principle. It is only changing system, or one is divided into many, or we can say it is the work of the process of the energy, which is nothing but a changing phenomena. Energy is known as nature or the Mahamaya, the creative power, Differently, many have given different names, and this is how it has become so complicated, and different words have different meanings. But basically, all the words has got one meaning, only sound. That's all. That primordial sound is nothing but the Omkar, and that is the cause of the whole creation. That sound itself is nothing but a vibratory system, and that is named as the willpower or knowledge power or creative power, and so on and so on. All these words have got different meanings differently when they are seen differently away from the center. Center is one sound, one vibration, one wave. That is the sound, or call it energy, call it the prana, anything you can name. One vibration becomes many, and so the creation is nothing but a vibratory system. That's all. This is the basic principle. It should not be forgotten when we analyze things. So now, to see this time and space, how they are cooperated, interdependent, how they are interpenetrated, to see all these, to have clarity about the time, space, and conditions. And that is what we know as the creation, which is not different than the reality. Because we don't see the reality, we see all these because of our limitations. We are limited by every way. That's how we don't see the unlimited absolute truth. So Vasistha told श्री रामभद्र किसी समय की बात है, मैंने ज्ञान योग्य वस्तु का ज्ञान कर लिया और मेरा मन भी पूर्ण हो चुका था। अतः उस समय मैंने घने भ्रम से भरे हुए इस लोक व्यवहार को छोड़ देने के लिए इच्छा की। ये फर्स्ट condition, how a seeker gets dispassion, and how he withdraws the mind from the outward extrovertness, that is names and forms of the surroundings, that is creation. How he withdraws from the names and forms from outside and gets introvert. Vasistha says, when one feels completeness within itself, I am full, I am complete, there is nothing which is lacking in me. I am complete by myself. I have all the knowledge, I have all the objects what is needed. There is no need anything for anything. I am complete by myself, and I have no more need to have any actions or reactions. You see, when we are completely introvert, mind is resting in the heart, that is the experience of reality, where mind is steady completely, there is no movement at all. That state has the feeling of completeness and perfection. So, at that state, there is no need of anything. That is called the absolute constancy, which is the truth. The moment there is little movement, because of that movement, which now we were discussing, which is known as prana or mind or creative force, whatever it is, because of absolute transparency that is not able to be seen, and that's how something else is superimposed. That is what we know as the creative power, that is willpower, and that is every system. So first impression, that first wave causes the need for completion, because it is not the truth. So there is a feeling of incompleteness. That's how I want to see myself. That's how this desire is created. I want to see myself. First of all, the awareness is identified as I, and I means it is different from the truth. The ego, the universal ego or the individual ego, then starts the feeling of incompleteness, and that's how the desires are created. Desires are to fulfill the incompleteness. That's how we have the desires, and the whole life we try to fulfill our desires, and that is unending. As long as we have not attained that absolute constancy, till then no desires can be fulfilled. It is eternal. The desires go multiplying. So in this way, when we think, there comes the feeling of fulfilling our desires. That's how, because of our feeling of incompleteness, that's how we are limited and individual beings, or the universal being, let it be anything. But there is a feeling of incompleteness. And the seekers, as long as they don't feel completeness within themselves, till then they will be always trying to seek for the truth, seeking the truth. So, when a seeker has complete dispassion towards the worldly objects, sense objects, and feels fully satisfied within itself, santosh, satisfaction. That is what told in Gita. Santoshamrita triptanam yat sukham santajetasam. When the mind becomes calm and quiet and it feels complete satisfaction, santosh, that is the nectarian bliss it enjoys in the heart of hearts, and then it has no need to have any contact with any sense objects, or he will not have any desires to have anything because he feels complete within itself. So these are the symptoms of a real seeker, sincere seeker who attains something. Just as the milestones, when you go in a pilgrimage, you go across some milestones that indicates how much you have traveled and how much is yet to be covered. Milestones give you the information, where are you, what are you, how are you, how much you have achieved. Similarly, in the path of sadhana, when one feels complete within himself, that means he feels no desire to have anything. So all the desires disappear by themselves, and the seeker feels satisfied within himself. That is santosh, and he rests in peace, and that is the goal of life. Santosh is the satisfaction, is the indicator, the milestone. It shows you where are you standing in the path of your sadhana. So first of all, Vasistha is telling, Vasistha he is the master of masters, and he had nothing to do, but yet as a being, as he had the body, or there is no need of doing anything, yet these great saints, they do something for the welfare of the seekers, the spiritual seekers. They give the message of the Absolute. That is what Vasistha was doing to Rama. He had nothing to do, but yet by the need of the hours, that means a situation asks something from him, so he fulfills the need of the hour. That's how these great saints, they teach something to the sincere seekers to achieve the life's goal. So Vasistha says, I had the feeling of satisfaction. I had nothing to do. That's how I was feeling uncomfortable in the crowdy and busy world. So what he thought, मैंने ज्ञान योग्य वस्तु का ज्ञान कर लिया था. I had attained everything. I was established in the truth. I know what is truth. He had experienced, he himself was the incarnation of truth. Vasistha ji is the mental son of the creator Brahma. So first of all, Brahma started creating by mind only. So when he thinks, let me have somebody, then the thought gets a form, manifested as form, and that is all these seven stars, Pula, Pulastya, Angira, Kratu, etc., Vasistha also, and Narad, Sanak, Sanatana, etc. And afterwards, this creation started by mythnicity, or else first of all it was by mental creation. So Vasistha has nothing to do. He was established in the truth. So he says, I had done what was there to be done. That means he had everything. So he felt satisfaction within. There is nothing to do. We do something which is known as action, karma, and the karma, every karma will have karma phal, reaction. Every action will have reaction. And when we analyze this word action, action is nothing but movement. Basically, the whole creation is a vibratory system. So, movement, so changes. So, action is nothing but unsteadiness of the steadiness. That's how, when you have already established in the absolute steadiness, then there is no need of doing anything. That means moving or having any change. That is how one who is realized, he has no work to do. That's how it is said, ko vidhi ko nisedha. There is no rules and regulations for that realized soul, as we have all the rules and regulations, because we are restless. So we have to have some particular way of restlessness. That means doing karma. How to do karma so that we can get absolute rest. So Vasistha says, I had achieved everything in my life, so I had no need of doing anything. मेरा मन भी पूर्ण हो चुका था. My mind was feeling the completeness, fullness, totalness. I have nothing to do. That feeling he had.
Swamiji, when Brahman is ever expanding, realization should be an ever growing process, right?
Pardon?
When
Brahman is ever expand. Realization should be an ever growing process, right? There should be nothing to in this world, but you can. I mean, I don't know.
If at all we think sadhana is a process, then that is true. But analytically, when we see, sadhana is a process of negating, not achieving. So it is not a process. Sadhana becomes a process when you think you are the body, you are the doer, you are the uh, enjoyer of your actions. Then sadhana is to be done. You have to do all these things. Satsang or practice of yoga or introvertness of the mind, withdrawal of the mind from the sense objects, all these are process. But once if you have accepted you are not the body, you are the seer, one who is the seer of all these bodies and the action and reaction of the body, then he is not involved in it. He is not the doer, so he is not the practitioner. He feels himself as the center of everything. That is, he rests in the heart, so he had nothing to do. Moment one feels the bliss inside the heart of hearts, then he has nothing to do, and he sees how this body and mind and intellect, they play the game. How they are playing, he just enjoys the play of actions, of reactions of mind and intellect. He never feels as the doer.
Auto mode.
Eh?
Auto mode.
Automatically. He never feels the doership. He just enjoys the phenomena of the world which is going on by the mind and intellect, etc., body and senses. He enjoys it. So for him there is no process of sadhana. But one who feels, I am the body, I am the senses, I am the mind, or I have the prana, I am the prani, holder of the prana, then he has to do all these process, and withdrawal means backward process. Just as you have come till now here, you have to go back to your home. So backward process, withdrawal process. That is called sadhana.
Swamiji, movement will have boundaries. Movement will have boundaries.
Yes, always there will be in and out
But there is no movement.
boundaries. Everywhere there is boundaries. So in this way, Vasistha felt he had nothing to do and he had achieved everything whatever to be achieved. So मेरा मन भी पूर्ण हो चुका था. I felt, my mind felt the completeness within myself. अतः उस समय मैंने घने भ्रम से भरे हुए इस लोक व्यवहार को छोड़ देने की इच्छा की. So, when I was witnessing this world full of business, full of restlessness, everybody is restless, and everywhere there is commotion, something is going on. So I had a desire to give up all this and to go to some solitary place to enjoy myself. That desire he had. That is the desire comes to a seeker in the end. Let me be, let me rest in solitude. Let not let me have no contact with all these busy, restless people.
ये फंसने वाला डिजायर नहीं, दिस इज नॉट अ
It is a desire, but there are always two kinds. One is positive, other is negative. This is also a desire, but this desire is not dangerous. It has got no reaction. It has got no bondage. All these are desires only. Let me rest. Let me not do anything. This is also a desire. But this is not, it is not dangerous. It will not take you to bondage. So these desires are not called desires. So Vasistha thought, let me give up all these restless situation of the world. Enough I have seen, witnessed. Let me rest somewhere in solitude. This desire he had. तदनंतर समाधि में एक निष्ठा प्राप्त कर धीरे धीरे दीर्घकाल तक विश्रांति पाने के लिए मैंने सब प्रकार की चंचलता को त्याग कर एकांत स्थान की अभिलाषा की और शांति की ओर जाने लगा. So he had this desire, oh, enough of enjoying all this world, witnessing all this. Let me have little rest somewhere in solitude. So this, because of this desire, he wanted to rest in samadhi. Let me enter into samadhi for a long time. Enough I have witnessed all this. So he wanted to give up all this, not to look at all this busy crowd, the world, and he wanted to go to some solitary place and let me rest in samadhi for some time. शांति की ओर गमन कर रहा किसी देवता के स्थान में स्थित मैं जगत की विलक्षण भंगुर गतियों को देखते हुए यह सोचने लगा. I wanted to go towards absolute silence, and when I was witnessing this restlessness of the world, I thought, यह जो लोगों की अवस्था है यह वस्तुतः निराशी ही है. All these situations, means all these stage of creations, different stages, different phases of creation. Creation, just as we were discussing, in the very beginning, the first wave, that is the sound wave, which goes on multiplying and taking different names in all round directions and starts creating everything. So, these creations are innumerable in different ways, different directions, because creations are means they are just restless states. Restless, a word which has got different meanings in different ways. I am speaking here but sitting silently. Sitting silently speaking. So I am also restless, but somebody is running in the road. He is also restless, speaking nothing. Somebody is thinking so many things, sitting idle, but mind is working, mind is restless. Somebody is doing, क्या हुआ, क्या कहते हैं उसको, हैं? अनुलोम विलोम नहीं, भस्त्रिका. Our Ramdev ji does. Kapalbhati. Kapalbhati karo. So Kapalbhati also is a kind of restlessness. Huh? And chanting Om also is a restlessness. So restlessness is understood in different ways. Somebody is running or somebody is dancing, he is restless. Somebody is thinking seriously, he is also restless. Huh? Physically or mentally or prana-wise, many ways we can be restless. So all these words, they are restless in different ways. We see in this our solar system, Sun is the grandfather of all these planets and subplanets, and Sun is steady, isn't it? As per our common understanding. Sun is steady, but all these planets and subplanets, they are restless. They are moving on around the sun. But universally when we see sun also is restless, its restlessness is to project out its light to infinite. So it is also a kind of restlessness. And also it is said, the whole sun, not only the sun solar system, but all the stars in our galaxy, the whole galaxy is restless. And within that, all the planets, all the stars, everybody is restless. Creation means restlessness. So, different ways are seen in restlessness. So that is what Vasistha ji says, यह जो लोकों की व्यवस्था है, लोक means different planes of creations. Somewhere it is so subtle, somewhere only creation is seen in the sky form. There is no other movements, but in the sky there is creation. The difference is there in the sky also. Somewhere it is seen the creations are up without any elements. There are creations. And somewhere some creations are seen which have got two elements or three elements or different elements than our concept, what we know as five elements: sky, air, fire, water, and earth. We know these five elements, basic elements which create our system. But it is not so everywhere. Huh? All these different creations are differently created with different ingredients. So that is what Vasistha had the ultimate vision, all round vision. That's how he saw different planes of different creations. And he says, ये लोगों की जो अवस्था है, the situation of these creations, वह वस्तुतः नीरसा है. There is no means nearest means it is rasahin, dried. There is no pleasure to see all these creations. It is meaningless. It is there. Just as we go somewhere, we are not bothered about the forests or the plants at the roadside or what is going on in the grass or anywhere. We are not bothered about all these. Yet they are there. They have got meaning. Have you ever seen while walking in the road, on the roadside, those tiny grass with it so small flowers with various colors, and how the small insects will be sitting in it and enjoying its honey. Nobody cares for it. But they have the importance as their existence is there. So everything is important as per its situation. But as per a all-round seer, all these have got no meaning. There is no real pleasure in enjoying all these. Vasistha was completely dispassionate towards all these creations. So he says, all these are useless. केवल इधर उधर से सुंदर लगती हैं. From one side, from some angle of vision, it looks beautiful. From other side, it is meaningless. See the mountains. From one side, it looks only rocky. There is no plants. And from other side, so dense forest. From different angles, different visions are seen. So Vasistha says, all these creations are meaningless, worthless, enough of witnessing all this. From one side it becomes so meaningless, some other side it seems to be something beautiful. इसीलिए मैं मानता हूँ कि यह किसी को कहीं किसी हेतु से किसी समय भी सुखकारक नहीं हो सकती. Because it is different in different ways. So it is not one So it cannot give any pleasure to anyone at any time, in any condition. It is useless. It cannot give any pleasure to anyone. All these words are meaningless. So he says, लोक स्थिति सुखद नहीं है. लोक मतलब different planes of existence, these creations. These are not at all pleasant. इतनी ही बात नहीं है, किंतु असीम दुखदाई है. It is not only unpleasant, but it is full of miseries. Why miseries? How? Because you are witness, so how can you enjoy displeasure or miseries? For a realized soul, there is no enjoyment, there is no uh, suffering also. But he doesn't suffer, but the witness sees the suffering of others. Just as Buddha Dev was dreaming even the miseries of the worldly people, he was shouting in a dream also, I am coming to remove your miseries. Just as a person sitting on the pavilion, witnessing the match going on impartially. Also, of course, he is impartial. He enjoys both ways. The losing party and the winner party, both he enjoys. But he sees the losing party is so unhappy, and they are weeping or breaking their heads, and they are quarreling among themselves, oh, you have done mistake, that's how we lost the game. And enjoying party, they are enjoying, the winner party, they are enjoying. So this enjoyment and suffering of others, of course, witnessed by the witness. So he says, it is no way pleasant, it cannot give any pleasure to anyone in any condition. On the other hand, it is so miserable, full of miseries. तीव्र खलबली और खेद उत्पन्न कर ये इष्ट और अनिष्ट फल देने वाली दृष्टियाँ दृष्टा के भीतर उद्वेग ही उत्पन्न करता है. Of course, you are sitting in the pavilion and looking at the loser party. Somehow or other, you will feel for them because you are impartial. You will feel, oh, poor fellows, how they are suffering. You see how they are quarreling, and this party is enjoying. So, the witness, though he is not involved in it, yet he feels. So Vasistha feels that these worlds, these creations are, of course, good for nothing. It cannot give any pleasure to anyone in any condition. But see how suffering it is, how miserable it is, how it creates problems for everyone, how people are suffering. He feels for them.
When you feel
Huh?
Witnessing is not.
Now, witness also, witnessing person sometimes feels for others. That is because of old habit. And the seekers always do everything for others. Selfless service they do. They do something for the sake of others. The sincere seekers, they do everything for others. So they feel for others. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. How he feels for everybody, how people suffer in this world. So let me do something for them. The witness also enjoys sometimes others' suffering.
In Tripura Rasyam, 5-6 realized people go and ask among us who's better. So I was thinking, how does this happen for?
Yes, it is outwardly, it is the play of mind. They witness the suffering and enjoy the suffering. Huh?
भावना रहेगा वासना के बिना.
Ah, the mind will be working. So mind feels all these. But he is the witness of the mind. So he is not involved, but yet he feels for others. तीव्र खलबली और खेद उत्पन्न कर ये इष्ट अनिष्ट फल देने वाले ये दृश्य दृष्टियाँ दृष्टा के भीतर भी उद्वेग ही उत्पन्न करती है. Even the seers, they get influenced by these sufferings of the world. All these great saints, they are called Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. How they feel for everybody. All these great gurus, they feel for the suffering of the disciples. That's how they go to help them. Without all these feelings, the realized souls, they cannot help the worldly people. There will be feeling that is not called involvement. They do everything without doership because of prarabdha. They do everything. They feel also. They feel pleasure and pain of others, not of theirs. So Vasistha is telling Ram, all these restless worlds, they create only east and uneast, some situations which is wanted and some situation which is unwanted. In that way, by giving the result of the actions, all these seers sometimes they get a kind of agitation. They create agitation in the mind of the seers. यह क्या दिखाई देता है, कौन देखने वाला है और मैं ही कौन हूँ, अर्थात ये सब तुच्छ है, कोई नहीं है, सब कुछ शांत अज चिदाकाश रूप ही है. केवल चिदाकाश में थोड़ा सा रेंगने वाला विवर्त बन गया है. वो विचार भी कर रहे हैं. मन जो स्थिति में है उनका, उसको वो विचार करके बता रहे हैं. See how it is unpleasant. It cannot give any pleasure to anyone, any way, any by any condition. And what do I see? Who is the seer? And who am I to see all these? How I am witnessing all these? अर्थात ये सब तुच्छ है. That means whatever I am seeing, it is all not there. It is non-existing some phenomena. To have discrimination, he is introspecting. कोई नहीं है. All these are not to be found. सब सब कुछ शांत. Everything is, though it looks restless, everything is silence only. And everything is the absolute truth. केवल चिदाकाश में थोड़ा सा रेंगने वाला विवर्त ही बन गया है. Just as you see some whirlpools in the water, so also Vasistha says all these are nothing but some whirlpools in the ocean of consciousness. These are nothing other than the absolute. These are some whirlpools created in the absolute sky. चिदाकाश में ये कुछ आवर्त बन गया है. उससे ये अलग नहीं है. That means whatever is seen, it is only the form of the absolute. It looks like this. Just as we see the wavy and flowing water, we see, oh, there are so many waves. See how the waves are clashing against each other and how these bubbles are created. All these we see. After seeing it, we know it is only water. It is not other than the water. Similarly, Vasistha is looking at all these creations. He says all these are nothing but same awareness, what is ever steady. All these restlessness are not restlessness, it is calm and quiet. All these worlds are whirlpools in the ocean of consciousness. हे श्री रामचंद्र जी, यह सब विचार कल अंत में उसी के कारण समस्त सिद्ध इंद्रदेव दैत्य आदि द्वारा दुर्गम एक अच्छे प्रदेश में जाकर अपनी देह को अपने आप ही अंतर्ध्यान के उपायों से छिपा करके सुरक्षित बना करके मैं सब प्राणियों की आँखों से उलझ हो जाऊं और निर्विकल्पक समाधि लगाकर एक रूप अद्वितीय स्वच्छ शांत पद में सब विकल्पों से निर्मुक्त होकर स्थित हो जाऊं, ऐसा सोचा. So he says, O Ram, having seen all these worlds and having all these thoughts over the worlds, then I tried to get rid of, go away from the eyes of the great gods and the demons or all these creatures, and I went to some place where these people cannot enter such a solitary place. And I thought to myself, let me be invisible to everyone so that I will not be disturbed by anyone. So whatever they think, it happens. So body-wise, he became invisible to all these gods and demons and all these creatures of this world, and he entered into some solitary place. There also he wanted to enter into samadhi, nirvikalpak samadhi, where no disturbance can be. Thinking to be aware of disturbances, he did like this. हे श्री रामचंद्र जी, यह सब विचार करके अंत में उसी के कारण समस्त सिद्ध, there will be different kinds of powerful beings, siddhas. They have also, they enjoy in very subtle worlds, and the gods, Indra, etc., and all those demons, where all these creatures cannot enter. I went to that solitary place, and I thought, let my body be invisible to everyone, so it will be well protected. If it will be seen by others, creatures may come to me and disturb me. So let me be invisible to everyone. ऐसे मैं सब प्राणियों को आँखों से उलझ हो जाऊं और निर्विकल्प समाधि लगाकर एक रूप अद्वितीय स्वच्छ शांत पद में सब विकल्पों से निर्मुक्त हो जाऊं और स्थित हो जाऊं. लेट मी एंटर इनटू निर्विकल्प समाधि and be invisible to everyone, and let me rest forever. So he thought like this. Let me have no thoughts at all. Let me be away from all these names and forms and all these thoughts and all these creatures. मुझे यहाँ समाधि लगानी है. वह उत्तम प्रदेश कौन हो सकता है, क्योंकि वह प्रदेश अत्यंत शून्य रूप और समाधि के लिए उपयोगी होना ही चाहिए. उस प्रदेश में बाह्य अर्थों के विज्ञान जो 5 इंद्रियों से उत्पन्न होने के कारण 5 प्रकार के हैं, रहने भी नहीं चाहिए. मतलब he says, I wanted to enter to that solitary place where all these 5 senses of any being cannot enter, away from 5 senses and contact of 5 senses. That's how I will not be disturbed by anyone. By no condition I will be disturbed. So he thought to himself in this way, I should go to that place, that solitary place where no being can enter by, have contact by his senses, away from senses. मुझे जहाँ समाधि लगानी है वो उत्तम प्रदेश कौन है, वो कौन हो सकता है? Which place will be most suitable to me? क्योंकि वह प्रदेश अत्यंत शून्य रूप और समाधि के लिए उपयोगी होना ही चाहिए. Because that place should be devoid of any kind of disturbances and suitable to have samadhi. Which place will be suitable for me? उस प्रदेश में बाह्य अर्थों के विज्ञान जो 5 इंद्रियों से उत्पन्न होते हैं उसके कारण 5 प्रकार के हैं, रहने भी नहीं चाहिए. 5 प्रकार के दृश्य, आँख से दृश्य होता है, कान से श्रवण होता है. जहाँ कोई शब्द न पहुँचे, कोई रूप न पहुँचे, कोई गंध न पहुँचे और कोई स्पर्श न पहुँचे, ऐसा स्थान में बैठना चाहिए ताकि कोई मुझे देख ना सके. I should select such place where senses cannot reach, 5 senses cannot reach. Which is that place where it is, which is most suitable for me? He was searching for it. पर्वत शिखर आदि अनेक एकांत प्रदेश समाधि के लिए हैं ही, फिर उनमें ही वास क्यों न किया जाए. इस प्रकार कहते हैं. Say for such place we can find some hilltops where nobody can reach. Why not some hilltops? विक्षेप पैदा करने वाले शब्दों से आक्रांत अरण्य, जल, मेघ एवं सिंह आदि प्राणियों से चारों ओर व्याकुल पर्वतों को मैं अपना शत्रु ही समझता हूँ. We have some ideas about solitary places. What are those? Some jungle, some cave, some hilltops where nobody can enter. But he says, no, all these places are not solitary places. All these places are not devoid of senses, means not devoid of sound or visibility or touch, etc. The wind will be there, so it will disturb me. The light will be there, it will disturb me. So all these elements should not be there. That place will be suitable. That means senses cannot do anything by any cost. So senses will be silent. So mind will be silent and forever I will enter into Nirvikalpa Samadhi. In this way he went on discussing within himself. बड़े बड़े पर्वतों के अनेक तरह के बीच वाले प्रदेश तो भील आदि जनों से बेष्टित हैं और वे सब विषय रूप सर्पों से दूषित होने के कारण विस्मय हुई है. All these hilltops or dense forests where ordinary people cannot go, but there will be the wild people, bhil, all these wild animals will be there, so they will disturb. All these places are not free from all these. अनेक तरह के बड़े बड़े समारोहों से क्षुब्ध नागरिक जनों से युक्त नगर जैसे समाधि के प्रतिकूल है, वैसे ही विविध समारंभों से पूर्ण जलचरों से जलाधार सागर भी समाधि के प्रतिकूल है. He says the hilltops are not solitary. There is possibility of disturbance. And is it inside the water? Nobody can disturb you. No, no. The water, the bottom of water, any ocean or any river sides or lakes, they are also full of noise and disturbances. There also it is not undisturbed. पर्वत तट, जल तट, लोकपालों के नगर. लोकपालों के नगर मतलब the lokapal means the gods who control different directions. Lokapal, just like Indra, Varun, Agni, Ityadi, all these are the subtle powers which control some subtle governments of the nature. These are called gods, and they have different planes, subtle planes where ordinary gross people cannot enter. So even then, those places are not silent. Everywhere there is commotion. पर्वतों के गुफाओं का तब सेवन कर लेना चाहिए. So maybe the caves of the mountain caves will be something favorable or suitable for me. No, that is also not suitable. See, he was going on thinking where to go, which place will be most suitable for me, which will be completely devoid of all kinds of disturbances. Then I can sit there and enter into samadhi. He was searching for a solitary place. So tomorrow we shall see where could he find and how he entered into samadhi. Tomorrow we shall see. Hari Om.
The description he gives is of a very unsatisfied mind.
Acha.
Because he's seeing dosha and everything.
When he is the seer of everything at a time, so all these will be there. You go to the sky, say in a plane, look down. If you have got a binocular, you can see so much commotion at a time. You will be so much disturbed. But the people at the ground, they are not so much disturbed. You will be so much disturbed because of your all-round wide-angle vision. But it is disturbance for the mind, but he has no, he is witness of the mind. So he has to search for such thing. He is not disturbed. He wants to go to some solitary place. What is called solitude? That is, he is explaining. What we think as solitude is not so. I was staying in Aina Devi. I had so many friends. The bears, the birds, and the little cubs, the deer, all they are my friends. I was so much attached to the plants even. So it is not a solitary place for everyone. For worldly persons, it is solitude. But for the you see, analytical minded people, it is not solitude. There are so much obstructions. So it is question of his personality. Because he sees everything at a time, wide angle and clear angle, clear vision. So he sees everything. But that doesn't mean he is disturbed by all this. It may cause disturbance, and that is what happened to him also. He was disturbed. And that's how the story comes of the rock. When the story goes on, you will understand why he is telling all this. Why he is narrating, explaining about the solitude. What is called solitude? As long as your mind is there, you are not in solitude. That's all what is we want to explain. And you are witnessing your mind. That means you have no solitude anywhere. If you are witnessing your mind, mind has all these. So how can you be in solitude? Mind is present everywhere. And you are not the mind, but you are the witness of the mind. So you are not involved in it, but yet you are looking at it. Hari Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnata Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti 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 Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai Satchidananda Bhagavan ki jai Sabda Brahma ki jai Saraswati Maharani ki jai Yoga Vasistha Bhagavan ki jai. Hari